this now. This is awesome.
Oh, shit.
Hey, man. Epic beard still going strong. I have to say that when I saw laces out, I knew exactly what was happening. Oh, we went dead. Oh, no. Can you hear me? Okay, you're quiet. Check the URL. Your mic just went dead. There may be a pop-up. I don't know if you're using Chrome. Kill this.
What's up, dude?
Oh.
Better now?
I hear something. Yes, sir.
How's the quality? Should I get my headphones?
No, you're good. I mean, you're good for me. It's just it's just room, but you're probably like me with all the reflective walls.
Yeah, I got pretty high ceilings over here. Let me
I got all my sound deadening stuff ordered, and I'm doing the whole room up. So.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah. The wife doesn't realize how much sound deadening panels are coming, or how many. I mean, yeah.
It got you. It makes a difference, though, man. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, big time. It's I don't know if you saw my picture on Facebook, but I got my 2 screens in front of me now, and I've got 2 more I've ordered. And talking into them, that slapback. I was using a Sterling mic, and this sucker picked up traffic that was down the street. And I was just like, I spent all that money on this, and now I've got to rewire. And yeah, so it's fun. How are you, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I've been staying busy. I feel like we haven't talked about it.
Are you kidding me, man? You've been like my freaking hero. I'm telling you, man. Yeah, you've made me step up my game. I'm writing articles. I'm disappointed when they're under the 3,000-4,000 mark, and I'm just churning out and everything. And that's one reason I wanted to have you on, was not only what you've shown everybody by boosting up the client SEO and the content, and really you and I are almost face to face when it comes to the white hat SEO.
Sure.
And I mean, we can black hat the hell out of anything. And I still follow a lot of what is going on in the industry, but it just seems so much easier when you're giving Google what the fuck they want.
Yeah. It's funny. I saw an article about it, but so I do a lot of consulting for SEO, and I'm fortunate enough to work with some really big brands through a large agency. And it's such a different type of SEO. Honestly, like if you just understand the webmaster guidelines and really just how a website functions, they literally tell you everything that you do. And the algorithm is like finally caught up to what they've been telling you. If you just build, the right type of content, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be like a 10,000 word article. I think that's where people get like caught up. The right type of content, it could just be like, shit, make better e-commerce pages, right? Put video on your pages, take better images, do that stuff, just create a better experience, and then just promote it the right way, which isn't that hard to do. There's so many tools that can help you with influencer outreach. I mean, everything, right? I mean, we pretty much automate outreach now, and it's amazing. So, it's content is funny because even the blackest of the black hats now are picking up the content marketing. So it's not something I invented. I mean, people like Patel and Ryan Stewart have been doing it for years, but like the whole general SEO community has finally gotten on board with content marketing, really seen it as like a viable marketing channel now. You know what I mean?
Well, one of the things I'm going to be talking about like tomorrow is keyword search killing your marketing. Like you said, are you so driven to that one word and how many people are searching for it? Are you losing the content of the connection?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's funny because I actually just shut down taking on new clients this past week because I want to focus on other things. We're just overloaded. But we got a really good lead from a good sized real estate brokerage down here in Miami. Real estate's the most competitive space in Miami.
Absolutely.
And they're like dead set. Like, we want to rank for Miami real estate in downtown Miami condos. And I'm like, oh, like you're not going to beat out some of these like DA like 90 sites. And then you throw in the aggregators like Zillow and stuff. Like, it's just not going to happen. But
I talked to somebody about that and I'm like, look, you want first page, you have no budget. You don't know where you're going, and they were in Texas. And I'm like, you're in a hot spot, especially since you're wanting to reach out to the $1 million homes.
Yeah.
You're going against all the brokerages, and that's when they're dumping $1 million a month, your little tweet isn't going to do a whole shitload.
It's pitching content to people who don't understand it is not sexy, right? Like, I tried to come up with this pitch about like turning their website into pretty much like a Miami-based lifestyle website, right? I mean, creating a ton of like, top beaches type, just like, BuzzFeed-ish type content, but it worked, right? You know what I'm saying? And it's relevant. And really understanding how that plays into the whole factor. I mean, you can have viral success with that, right? That's how brands are built these days, really. It's through content. And social, of course, too. But it can be a tough pitch for people, man. I mean, we're still in the age, unfortunately, where people, and rightfully so, right? I mean, they're just going to rank for those keywords because they think that's going to be the best return on their investment. But I got to the point now, like I said, I'm just not working with them anymore. It's not worth it. You know what I mean? I mean, if their expectations coming into the contract are, we're going to rank for this keyword and we're going to make X amount of dollars because you get searched for this amount of times a month, and like each one, it's like it never works out like that, right? And I still see SEOs like trying to calculate ROI based on like, oh, Google Keyword Planner says that there's 400 searches a month for this, and if we're ranking first, we'll capture 50% of these searches, and based on standard website conversion rates, it's going to convert at 2%. So ipso facto, if we're ranking for these keywords, they're going to be making a 10,000% ROI. It's like, dude, it doesn't happen like that. You know what I mean?
No, it's I don't know about you. I hated the advertisement on the Super Bowl yesterday. I've been over the past few years watching the before and after Super Bowl and other channels where people are advertising just to see how much are they getting for that ROI. And most of them all know there is none. And like you said, building that lifestyle, man, you brand that your company, people are looking, visitors are coming in. I have a guy that I knew 10 years ago, and he did Vegas for locals, Vegas, the number 4 locals. And it was literally just this little tiny newsletter that just talked about the breakdown. The casino is going to give a buffet on Wednesday. Show you your ID, you live in Vegas, you're cool. He now sends out a newsletter to be in this mailing, and he's got 250,000 people on here.
Yeah, I mean, it's
oh no! Make sure your connection isn't blocked by a firewall. Oh no!
Yeah, no! Is that you or me?
Oh well. We will see what is happening. If you can bounce out and bounce back in, brother.
Me?
I don't want to. There we go. Guys, and everybody who's watching, hope you're paying attention. If you're paying attention, please do me a favor. Tweet this to your friends. Share it on Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
Give high five love to Laces Out. Ryan. No, his thing, though, the main thing that I always found interesting with this newsletter was he did it for free. And it was literally just hooking up his buddies and a couple of people that he knew. I stumbled across it. He's still going strong, and he's making a shitload of money.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, now people want to be in his free newsletter, and that's where the content is.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean,
and that's something that you've been doing a shitload on Facebook. I mean, your posts aren't, "Hey guys, hope your day's going good." It's like, "Oh man, I'm getting in on this one. I need to get a cup of coffee and start."
Yeah, I mean, I think that's where you can win with, like, I think from an, like, if you're just getting started with content marketing now, you've got an uphill battle in the digital marketing space because everyone's doing it, and it's really, really competitive, super competitive. Because everyone knows now, right? I mean, like, even me, and my site has built some good authority, but like, I gotta compete against Moz, content marketing against, I mean, like, juggernauts in the space that are cranking out 2,000 word posts like 10 times a day. So it's become very crowded, right? So I mean, you've got to kind of pick your battles and know where to win in native content, like, to your own. So building your own little sub communities, like, it doesn't have to be a 10,000 person community anymore. Like, it could just be a couple hundred people on a newsletter, but if you're constantly adding value to them, it's the same thing, right? I mean, so native content in building your own little communities is something that nobody really talks about, but it's incredibly powerful. I mean, I try to do it in that Facebook group. I did it when we first started the group a lot more, but I just haven't had the time. But I try and almost use it as like a micro blogging platform. I do it on growth hackers and inbound.org all the time too, and I drive a ton of traffic. I actually started, they don't know this, but are you on inbound.org, the community?
No.
You're on Inbound?
Wait a minute. Which one is it?
So Inbound is it's
no, I'm not part of the Inbound. No,
it's like, you know, growthhackers.com is.
Right.
They're almost like, picture it like a Reddit for just inbound marketers.
Okay.
Inbound, I've actually sourced a lot of clients from Inbound just because it's just a great community. It's owned by Rand Fishkin has a pretty big stake in it. A bunch of like big time white hat marketers started it. It's been around for years now, but it's started to pick up steam as content becomes more important. And basically, you know, I figured out about 8 months ago that my target market was actually marketers and not business owners, because I got to the point where, you know, my site gets a lot of leads, but 90% of them are people who are like, hey, you know, I own a contracting, not that there's anything wrong with these people, right? I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with it, but, you know, the guy who owns a contracting business, he's only got $1,500 to spend, and he can only spend it on SEO, right? And he's expecting a certain return, which is fine. I get it, right? I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that, but it got to the point where I was like, shit, man, like, these are not the type of people that I want to be working with. You know, people that don't see the work that goes in behind the scenes of just like reading analytics, setting up reporting, like, all they care about, and again, I get it, is, am I getting more phone calls, which is cool, but that's not what I do, right? There's people out there that do that a lot better than me. That's not what I do. You know, I try and build like a digital brand and an overall cross experience. So I realized that, like, and there's just more money in people who have marketing teams, right? I mean, there are thousands of businesses that have in-house marketers that they see the content that I'm creating, and if it speaks to them and if it's better than what they're doing, then it drives them to pick up the phone and call, right? Or to at least follow along and you know, build recognition that way. So, and that's really how I made the jump from working with, you know, your average $500 to $1,000 SEO contract to, you know, 5,000 plus, because I only am working with people that are marketers, right? Because they have an in-house marketing team. If you have an in-house team, you have a budget to spend. So again, it's not just like we have $1,500 to spend on SEO. It's okay, we've got, you know, 5,000. Let's do some link building. Let's test some Facebook ads. So it's just a much different atmosphere, and they definitely appreciate the work more because they understand that you're doing something that they can't do, that it's kind of beyond them. So, and there's not like the, hey, it's been 3 months, where's the return? Like they understand that it's a process. So that was kind of a big step for us in terms of an agency about 8 months ago.
No, I think that's a huge thing. You know, I get a lot of calls and they're like, look, I've got about $200. I want to do something. And I'm like, wow, Facebook ads, you know, and I don't do that. So, you know, and it's not, you're seriously, you're not trying to be a bad guy. It's just, you know, those phone calls, you take 8 or 9 of those a day or even a week, your productivity is drained, man. That just trying to tell somebody over and over again that's, you know, we don't handle that. This is what you want to do or whatever. Then it's just, wow.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm reaching out with the SEO show here on Blab now and Snapchat and Instagram. Did you hear about Instagram?
No.
That you can now have multiple accounts and sign in. You just flip the username.
Oh, nice. That is big. I just signed up for Hootsuite because they allow for scheduling.
Yes.
It's an incredibly powerful tool, man.
Oh, really?
I've been a Buffer user for a while because it's just really easy to use. Yeah. And I just
hate Buffer.
You like Buffer?
Well, I don't like Buffer because for the same price, I've been with Hootsuite.
Yeah.
And it has a lot more, I lack of a better term, professional things.
Yeah.
And I've just been with them for so many years that it's like, Buffer, okay, but everybody's there.
Yeah. See, I actually don't. I run my Twitter personally, but like I have a kid who is actually doing it for free and he's doing a great job. I mean, managing a Facebook page is really a full-time job now. And
yes.
If you're really serious about growing it, I mean, it's all about native publishing on Facebook, right? If you're doing any sort of like cross promotions or like dumping YouTube videos, it's just not going to work. You've got to, again, going back to the native stuff. So I have a kid, I actually found him in the group. He was willing to do it for free. He's been running for like 4 months and he's awesome. His name's Alex Craig. If anybody's looking to hire a social.
Nice.
He's awesome. He busts his ass. He does like really good analytics and really studies, you know, what are the best times to post. But anyways, I've been finally had some time now that I'm cutting back on client work and really want to push into like owning my own entities because I'm kind of at the point where, you know, client work drains you, you know, it really does. And you get to the point where it's very demanding and it's very, you know, it's great when you drive success for people, but then you're like, why am I not doing this for myself? Like, why am I helping again? I got into being a digital entrepreneur, whatever, because I was tired of building other people's dreams and working for people. But now it's like, and it's crazy, Frank, like how quickly times have changed. Like there, you know, 10 years ago, you could start a business just because like you had money and you were good at business, right? You were good at managing people. You had that old school skill set. Like I get these calls all the time from people now that so much business is done online and they've got this old school skill set that like, you know, I have an MBA, so I get like that state of mind, but like, bro, it's dying so fast, you know, like so much of a business now is marketing and so much is online marketing because like, we don't make shit here anymore. You know what I mean? Like, and there's all these tools that help, like it's very rare. So like things like supply chain management, that was a very legitimate skill set. Even 10 years ago, it's just dwindled to nothing because it's like, I got Amazon, you know, because of Amazon.
You don't need a supply chain, you know, that's it. Order it and drop it and let them handle it.
Yeah. So there's,
no, you're right. My wife last night, we were talking, she's like, you know, she's got a network marketing business that she's doing. She's like, you know, we need a lawyer and I wish there was a consultant and all this. And I looked at her and I said, that's what I do. And we don't need a lawyer because, well, you know, already have one and that's handled. And what do you want to do? And I'm like, you have to put out content, videos, blogs, Snapchats on your way to work. Talk about how crappy your day is. Be you. And she's like, well, I'm not the expert. And I said, no, but you're you. And by telling about your experience with what you're doing, they're going to love you or they're going to hate you. If they hate you, you don't want to work with them.
Yeah.
And, you know, and because she's been for 5 years climbing my ass about swearing. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but I don't want the Presbyterian, nothing against the religion, mentality with the people I work with. If I drop an F-bomb, it's got to roll off everybody's chest because that's just the way I am. Mm-hmm. So you're right. We got into this not to work for the man. Mm-hmm. Yet we always get into clients and go, "Oh, I wish that my brand was that big."
Yeah, it's just crazy. So I finally got to the point. I've been telling myself for literally over a year, but client work is just so enticing because it's big checks up front. And basically, what you can do, what's great about client work is you learn a lot because you're playing with somebody else's money, right? Like, which is the best way to do it. You're given opportunities to do stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that normally you wouldn't be able to do. So that's why it's been great. But now I feel like I know so much. Like I understand the entire picture of how to run a digital business. It's like, why am I still doing this for other people? So, long story short, I'm testing some stuff on Amazon. I'm still working on the product, but I'm even looking at sourcing it locally because it's a pretty cheap product and really building like a real bit, like an end-to-end business. Not just the Amazon. Obviously, I'm going to use Amazon to fulfill at first because it's just so amazing. Like, why wouldn't you? But other than that, I'm really looking hard at building a real social presence. Putting out industry-leading content in an industry that doesn't really publish the type of content that I can create. You know what I mean? So really taking that stuff that I'm telling clients, like, you have to do this, and they're like, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this, and it's not in their budget for them to pay me to do it, and just doing it and just exploding, kind of like how Digital Marketer does it. You know what I mean? Really love their model with what Ryan does with the sites on the side and just crushing it. And then using that to fuel the digitalmarketer.com brand because it's like, hey, we don't take on clients, we do this ourselves, and we make good money doing it. It's a really cool model, you know what I mean?
Well, I've been following Dice and all those guys, and one of the things that they said was, why are you putting AdSense on your page? Yeah. You're not making any money. Yeah. Put up your ad for your course. Yeah. It's there. It looks right. People are going to click on it and they're going to buy you. And then you can set up your whole thing. And I went, wow, I think I made 14 cents off of a website, last month. And damn it. I can put a CPA offer on there, or I can write something, and that's, you're absolutely right. Like sourcing, as soon as you said, man, and I know you knew it, as soon as you said, I'm going to do shoelaces, that everybody went to Alibaba and was just banging shoelaces. Yeah. I looked and I'm just like, wow, that's a lot of shoelaces out there. I'm like, oh my God. And I haven't done that whole thing, but right now I'm getting blown up because I was looking at GoPro knockoffs. Yeah. You can get a GoPro knockoff for $20 and they're going for $100 on, Amazon. And I'm just like, and just looking at what's out there and how people are taking it. And I'm amazed that on Amazon that the people don't even change the name of the product. Yeah. Yeah. They just put it up there on Amazon as that product, and you look and there's like 1,000 of the same thing. And it's like, spend the extra money and brand it to you. Yeah, no, exactly.
And that's really where I'm going with this. I think a lot of people, because I just posted the other day, I've been trying, I want to use that group to like, as live blogging what I'm doing here, because I think it's interesting. And a lot of people just don't see what I'm doing. Like, I think 9 out of 10 people, when I tell, like, I'm going to start a shoelace business, they're like, what the fuck you want to start a shoelace business? You know what I'm saying? But it's the big picture that I see that I know I can explode because, like, I've done the research. I know what the competitors are doing. And I'm not going after, like, I don't want to rank for brown shoelaces. I'm going after a sub niche that's so ridiculously passionate and active. It's very similar to the SEO community. And I'm just going to blow it up with content, and I'm going to blow it up with a brand, and I'm going to really, really create a good product and a good online experience. And a lot of the Amazon stuff that I've seen about like ranking organically in Amazon, I'm not going to try and do like the whole review spam thing. I mean, I'm going to send it to some people to and have them purchase and stuff like that. But the plan for me is to use the website, lacesout.net, as the marketing platform to drive conversions to Amazon, right? So I'm not even going to focus on Amazon internal SEO. I just feel like from everything that I've talked to people, the more purchases you get, the higher you'll rank, right? It's just one of those things.
Oh, absolutely. They're going to push you up.
Yeah. So
I think that you're also not going to go that review route because you know that it's so spiky. You know, it can be great and then it's down, and that'll hurt when you don't have that continuous motion. And you probably hitting some influencers, you know, and what the cost of the product, some postage, and, you know, building a connection before you do all that, and just saying, hey, I saw what you were doing and the market that you went for, and all I could think about was New York City and LA in a couple of particular niches that I know of, that it's just, man, they carry guns, you know, and it's the exact same niche that you're in. And I'm just like, I know what my sister does, and she's a big shoe hog, you know, and I'm like, ooh, there's some money in this, and you can just a couple of 100% return on it.
Yeah.
A massive amount of profit.
Yeah. It's there's a lot of money in it, man. A lot of my friends are like sneakerheads, so I see it full time. And like, bro, like people spend $250, $300 for a pair of these shoes. Basically, the marketing angle that I'm taking is, again, I went out, I had a VA do a ton of web research and go out and find like 10 shoes, right? Different Jordans, different types of Nikes that, like, if people don't understand like sneaker culture, like a bunch of people, when I posted a picture in the Facebook group the other day, and people were like, why do you have this picture of these ugly shoes? And I'm like, because these ugly shoes did like over $1 billion in fucking sales last year. Like, it's insane.
Exactly.
It's insane. So basically, when people pay $250 for a pair of shoes, like, they don't want them to get messed up. And in the event that they do, I'm just sliding right in and saying, here's a pair of exact replacement laces. Use these, because Nike doesn't sell them. Jordan Brand doesn't sell them. They don't sell replacement laces. So, and
who the hell wants to go to the dollar store or Walmart and throw those thin ass damn things in your, and people know, you know, and especially those. And it was funny when you first posted this, however many months ago, I broke a lace. And I was like, damn, I would order them because I know they're going to be good quality, but he hasn't released them. I ended up buying damn shoes instead of the shoelaces, because you cannot find a beefy shoe. I'm a belt guy. I want a thick leather belt that, after 10 years is going to be stretched out and you just throw it away, but it's going to be there. You can't find them. You can't find that quality of a belt. But when you go to look at the professionals and the handyman and the carpenters and the mechanics, they're all looking for that leather belt. And I'm looking at reviews going, oh, I ain't getting this. Damn thing it's not a leather chunk. It's pressed together shit. And I'm like, damn.
There you go, man. There's your idea right there. Start a belt.
Absolutely.
I mean, to me, the easy, like a lot of the questions that I've been getting, people have been like, how are you going to market shoelaces? Like, nobody cares about shoelaces. The same thing with a belt. Like, nobody cares about a belt. But, like, you have to look at it as a bigger picture. Like, it's not just about stuff. Like, this is where marketers fuck up. They're like, oh, I have to rank for a belt. I have to create. How am I going to create content around a belt? It's like, no. The fashion industry is incredibly passionate. Like, you don't have to write about belts. Just go out and create a ton of industry-leading content about fashion. And there's millions of people out there, these bloggers on Instagram and Snapchat, that are more than willing to do it for free. You know what I'm saying? Like, for free, just because you're like, hey, I really like. So a couple months ago, there's something called Art Basel. It's in Miami. It's like one of the biggest art events in the world now. And I was playing basketball at a court outside, and there were a couple of kids they were like, dressed in new fashion stuff. I don't know. I'm not overly fashionable, but they were taking pictures, and we just started talking, and they like just super creative kids. And I was like, I was looking at some of the photos that they were taking for some of these brands, right? They were going to runways and posting them on Instagram, and they had hundreds of thousands of followers, these kids. And I'm like, how much are they paying you? They were like, nothing. They were like, they just gave us the opportunity, so we're doing it for free. They flew us down here. And these kids, think about that. These kids are creating amazing content, and they're publishing it. Oh, my girlfriend's following me. And they're publishing it all over the internet, across all these different followers for absolutely for free, just because they want the opportunity. So like, it's just a matter of doing the research and finding these types of people that are out there in any niche, right? It's just tough because as marketers, we're so condensed, and like, honestly, this space is so competitive. You know what I'm saying? We're competing against other amazing marketers. So like, I think we get lost in how competitive this is that we do. But like, when you get outside of this and you don't do it for a client, you really immerse yourself into building a business to something else. You're like, these people, you know, they've got good social presence, but like, they're not doing anything else. You know what I'm saying? Or they, you know, they've got some good, powerful links because they got PR, but like, they're not doing anything else. There's so much opportunity that's why I like just want to exploit it. You know what I mean? There's just so much opportunity for people who know marketing to just compete. Like the amount of knowledge that, not just me, I mean, you too, like that we have in our heads that people just
too much.
It is. You know what I mean? Like I just want the opportunity to go out and, you know, what I did with Weber's is cool, but like, I'm not selling a product. If I go out and just explode that onto something else, I'm overly confident that this could be a success, and I don't have to take on clients ever again, which is ultimately the goal, right?
Well, I thought about, with you saying, you know, these guys and what they were doing. I remember a few years back, Mark Echo, you know, went to the inner city schools and started this whole getting kids drawing and graffiti and everything. And he turned around and said, you do this work, and we're going to find the best one. We're going to give you a pair of sneakers, and you're going to design that. And then he had guys who were so intricate, and he goes, well, we're going to do watches with your designs. You know, Mark Echo's the one who made the profit off of that, and the kids were paid for doing the artwork. And I'm just like, oh, you dirty bastard. But it was so smart, because then he just started getting in, and he separated himself from Echo, and he was Mark Echo, the artist, you know, and his stuff went way up as his marketing and branding went up. And, you know, it took off. But those guys who are Instagramming are mentioned in all of the big websites because they need content, and this kid's got it. So he's getting notoriety, and that's all he wants is that name. You know, oh, I was mentioned on Entrepreneur, you know, and it's like, damn, dude. Kid in Kickstarter who made $250,000 making a wallet, and he wasn't a designer, and he had no idea what he was doing, but he just thought a thinner wallet would be cooler for guys, and it blew up. And he sourced it, and he made it, and you know, now he's making. You know, he did a watch thing where he found a watch, changed a couple of things, did the Kickstarter thing, and made $500,000.
Yeah.
2 products, and he's got $1 million.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity, man. And like I said, I mean, if you possess the skills to market it online, that is so much of the equation now. Like I'm telling you, I'm doing pay-per-click marketing for them. I didn't really want to take them on, but this company, they put a ton of money, built a beautiful website, and you know, I'm like, they don't have any marketers in house. I'm like, how are you going to start a company like an e-commerce website? It's one, and they're drop shipping products too, mind you. So like, I'm like, you guys started a fucking company with no experience in online marketing. So now you have to then take all of your budget and spend it paying for agencies to do your work, like, or you know, a consultant, and they're like, maybe you're rolling the dice too. Like half the agencies out there are shit. You know what I mean?
Come on, man. I mean, you got anybody now who reads a WSO or an ebook and goes, I know SEO. I'm a marketer now. You know, and that's no disrespect to anybody starting out, but you know, it's like, hey, $500, I know what I'm doing. Yeah. And it's like, oh shit, no, you don't.
Yeah.
You know, we've got it around here, and you're an MBA, so you know part of those profit and loss statements was your marketing department. I think for the past 10, 15 years, that line item disappeared. I mean, it's like nobody markets. You know, we got Joe's Fish Stand down here. We had a local air show, And I found out about it the day before. And I'm like, well, how do you get people to this thing? I mean, there are 500 people at this city, county-wide air show. And I'm like, who marketed this? Oh, we put it up on Facebook. So only your Facebook group knew? And the local newspaper that's got 25 readers? I'm like, yeah, you guys got to start looking at it. And marketers ruin so much. Spam marketers, I mean. But marketers who know how to build a brand, get the message out there, and think where the company needs to be, but not where everybody is, I think are really, like you said, shoelaces, belts, fashion industry, you can tie in to so many things, oh, look at, this dress, but she was wearing this type of belt with that. Or, oh my God, you see the new Jordans, the shoelaces are going to be like this. We're getting ready to build some, make some replacements because you're never going to find them. I can't believe they don't make replacements, It's crazy.
I'm actually excited because I just finished designing the site. It's with my developer now, but I've got I was getting a lot of questions like, how are you going to market these? How are you going to create content around shoelaces? And I've got just a stacked lineup of content that I'm planning on launching. But more importantly, how I'm going to promote it with influencer outreach on social and automating pretty much the whole thing too. So I actually came up with this. Doing it for some clients, it's incredibly powerful. Where I go to follow along. A lot of people talk shit about Twitter because it's like a dead network, but depending on what you do, it's incredibly active. And honestly, aside from Facebook and Pinterest too, it's the only network that you can really drive traffic from. You know what I'm saying? Like Facebook, you can, but Facebook is so different with the algorithm, and like because pages aren't people, it's tough to do outreach to them. So it's very difficult, right? And Facebook is also very private. You can't scrape Facebook for data, which sucks as a marketer. Because it would be a friggin' gold mine if I could just like scrape so basically I just scrape follower along. I'll type in I just published a post on email marketing, right? So I just went to follower along. I typed in email marketing in air quotes, and I scraped the whole list. It was like 5,000 people who had email marketing in their profile, right? And then I just filtered in Excel for like certain social authorities, certain followers, certain activity tweeted in the last month, scrape that. And then I uploaded it to, because you've got name and you've got, most of the people have domain. So then I upload that to findanyemail.net. I have a bulk subscription. You find that and it spits back. It just changes first name, last name, domain. And it finds emails if possible. You get like a 10th of them. So I had about a list of 250 marketers with a certain number of social authority. Just uploaded that to Pitchbox and just fired off all these emails, outreach emails saying, hey, I found you on Twitter, in parentheses, like, here's your name. So it comes out personalized. And I'm saying, first name, I've got their first name. And of the emails that went through, didn't bounce, it had a 70% success rate for people sharing.
Nice.
So I was able to generate, and this was mostly just testing it, I was able to generate over 70 people on Twitter that shared my link.
Right.
So if you think about it, if you do that over and over, and then you apply that to like other networks too, and with link outreach, I mean, you can really growth hack. Like with content marketing, right? I mean, like just putting your content in front of people once or twice, and then they get the recognition, you get them to follow social. It all snowballs, right? You have to do it all together. So I'm excited about it. I really am, and I've got some really good stuff that I'm just I'm scraping lists of top posts from like BuzzStream and just kind of using like the skyscraper technique from what Brian Dean talks about and just blowing it out. So like, I don't know, top 10 Jordans of the year. I'm going to do like top 100. And then I'm just going to link out to people's social profiles on Twitter and on Instagram and be like, hey, I included you in this post. Do you want to share it? And again, same thing. And again, when you do that over, and if you do that 50 times for the next year, we're talking about, plus with link outreach and getting your content to rank,
absolutely. Everything that everybody does in SEO or affiliate marketing, if they put it into a real world branding experience, they would just be amazed. Yeah. Well, you can't outrank so-and-so. Yeah, you can if you do it right. Yeah. Have you tried Ninja Outreach yet?
Yeah, so I have all of them. I have subscriptions to
Probably everything.
Yeah, I have subscriptions to BuzzStream, Pitchbox, and Ninja Outreach.
There you go.
I use them for different things. So Pitchbox is awesome because what Pitchbox is good for is you can automate outreach, right? Like you can just literally click. And the good thing about it too is that the more fields that you have up front, so the more research you do in terms of like name, domain, blog name, you can just put that in an Excel sheet and upload it, and then auto jam it into your email template, right? So Pitchbox is good for, and it has auto follow-ups too, which is really good. So Pitchbox is good for like if you're really busy, set it and forget. If you're doing mass outreach for like guest posting, blogger outreach, sponsored posts, Pitchbox is the way to go. But if you want to do a little bit more personalized pitching for like for PR, like if you're pitching reporters, I think BuzzStream is the best because it's a relationship building tool. It tracks history. The thing that sucks about BuzzStream is that you have to go through in Ninja Outreach too. You have to go through one by one and click send. But it's good because they both have the split screen and it allows you to like, check their RSS feed and be like, hey, I just read your post here. But something at the end of the day, the issue that I have is that it's a numbers game. You know what I'm saying? Outreach is a numbers game. So if I can just automate, if I can send 1,000 emails like that and auto follow up, as opposed to going through one by one and like, that little bit of personalization doesn't make the difference to me.
And that's where you're automating on a grander scale, and I'm going through a little bit more personal outreach to bring people onto the show and stuff. Yeah. So it's a little bit more of that. One thing with Hootsuite that I loved is you can bulk upload your tweets, and you can do, I think it's 300 at one time you can upload, and you just do it in an Excel sheet and it knows, and it has the time set, and it just, you can randomize. Really cool. I built up my Twitter following by tweeting everybody else's stuff.
Yeah.
And even though they auto follow on a lot of those accounts, I got a lot of responses. I mean, we got MC Hammer to, bounce back and argue with me for 3 hours one night. That was so funny because then people were going over and watching the tweet war that was going on, and somebody's like, why MC Hammer, dude? Why are you picking on him? And I'm like, I don't know. Because it was on, because all of a sudden, and then all of a sudden I started seeing, and it wasn't disrespectful, but my Twitter following went up because we were talking about a certain subject.
Of course.
And it had to tie in with the TV show and, the NWA movie and everything. So it was just getting a little controversial, and you can't do that with everything, but
yeah. No, I mean, I agree. There's a certain, so like when we pitch broken links and resource pages, which we'll do for like certain campaigns, we'll use, I have people that do, I have people trained for it, but I have my outreach manager go through and just use Gmail for it or BuzzStream. I actually just got Ninja Outreach last week because I've been playing with it for prospecting to find out if there's, because I'm really looking for a tool. I'm going to look into Tracker for a tool that can really, really help me do influencer research. Because right now, like, it's so annoying, man. It's just like project management tools too. And just like Pitchbox and BuzzStream, like, why the fuck can't somebody just build a complete tool for once? And it's like Buffer versus Hootsuite. Like, Buffer has Pinterest, Hootsuite has Instagram. So like, I still have to use them both. It's like, why the fuck can't there be one goddamn solution? Like, what? You know what I mean? I love these companies like get together ahead of time. Like, all right, you take Pinterest, we'll take Instagram. Like, you take automation, we'll take personalization. You know what I mean? It's like,
there was a talk over some beers, and they're like, okay, we're on for everything. I'm going to give you Pinterest. No, it's a pain in the ass, and finding somebody who can create that software for you, it's like you can't do it. Because the first thing, it's so much money, and it's like, no, seriously, I just needed to do this one thing, an Instagram on a desktop.
Mm-hmm. I know.
Take the picture down, load it onto my phone, upload it back over, and I'm like, but Instagram, you can set up filters to block the spam. I'm literally posting on Instagram once a day. If you see a spike with 1,000, shut me down. You shut everybody else down. Why can we not use a desktop?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's quite apparent that Facebook learned. You know what I mean? I mean, Instagram is never. It's. I mean, Facebook's just arguably, aside from Google, maybe the best company to ever exist. Just how intelligent they are. Like in the most competitive space ever, social networking, they continue to stay relevant, which is incredible. Really incredible. For the longest time, right? And like set aside their Instagram acquisition. I mean, just what Facebook has done to get me back interested. I mean, shit, when Instagram started getting big about 3 years ago, I was pretty much off Facebook.
Right.
But then I don't know what happened. It just there's been like a mass return of like, you know, I'm in my late 20s. People in their late 20s who got on Facebook when we were in college, we're coming back to it in like droves, and a lot of my friends are using it more now too. I don't know why, but like Facebook, they just did a good job. Like it serves its purpose for what it does, but Instagram is, they're never going to allow links. You know what I'm saying? It would just become a spam central, and Facebook has the best data in the world on that. You know what I'm saying? Like Facebook has done a tremendous job with knocking off spam and fake profiles, all that stuff, which Twitter has not been able to do, obviously, which is why, you know, they've stagnated. But again,
no, I think Twitter got so far behind the 8 ball that they'll never catch up.
Yeah.
You know, Facebook said, whoa, we're getting this crazy thing, so we're going to jump on it. Hired in a bunch of them, and they shut it down. And Instagram saw all of this crap and went, we don't want it from the beginning.
Yeah. It's a crazy space, man. It's something that
well, you know what? That brings up like Snapchat. And what I love about Snapchat is it's authentic, it's fast. You know, I can sit there and watch somebody that I really care about, and there's nothing. I mean, if they want me to go to a website, they have to tell me. And it's 10 seconds. So, I mean, they're really, you know, is it going to be anything else? I don't know. But I will tell you this. It gives me the ability to share my day. People know who I am. They get to see what's going on around me. And I can go, hey, watch the SEO show. If they're interested, they're interested. If not, you know, screw it. There's no authority building there other than my face is just out there.
It's a highly personal network. I mean, I'm almost frustrated at how hard it is to search for people. You know what I'm saying?
God, yes.
You know what I'm saying? That serves its purpose because, you know, the kids want to get away from their parents or else. It's hard to find people, and with the whole disappearing messages, it's highly personal. And I think it's almost like very scary for marketers because there's no way to automate. Like, you have to have a person there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you cannot have like, you know, a smart social team behind it, like scheduling your shit. Like it's,
oh no, it's you. It's you. And that is the one thing that is frustrating, like you said, adding people.
Yeah.
Damn, if I could get a screenshot to actually off the computer screen, if I could get that to actually scan in correctly, I'd have so many more people I'd follow. But you know, it's literally, you know, it's adding. There's got to be a reason for you. I watch Casey Neistat, and, you know, I've been following him for years, and I've got Gary Vee just because of those snippets of info in their life. You know, Casey posted up the crane that fell. Mm-hmm. That's how I found out about it. He's standing outside. He's standing a block down the street, and he's like, damn, that's the street we walked down. I'm like, what the hell happened in New York? You know, I'm like, damn, are we under attack? I'm like, holy shit. And, but yeah, it's you can't fake that, and I think that's where it'll be great for business owners. And I did a show last week about it, but I did not hit the record button. So for 45 minutes, I dropped some killer information that nobody will ever see. And I was so pissed. But no, it's being authentic. It's building a brand. I think now, like you, building a company around a brand that's you is better than building a brand for a company that doesn't have a personality.
Yeah, I think, you know, I think for the small bit, in my opinion, I mean, we're living increasingly in the freelancer economy, right? I mean, jobs are becoming very, very specialized that almost everyone, I feel like in 10 years, not everyone, but a lot of people are going to be their own business just because like, you know, you need a specific skill set. It doesn't make sense to hire for it. You know, I just feel, and even me now, like I use a lot of contractors. I've got 3 full-time people, but you know, contractors are just great. Consultants are great because they serve that one purpose, and then, you know, keeps my top line. I don't have to continue paying them. So like building, you know, I don't want to get all Gary Vee, but like building a personal brand is important. And it's so funny because, you know what, I was always a very private person. Like 2 years ago, I wouldn't do something like this. I'd never use social networks. I was very like, you know, my life is my life. But then I realized, and this is when I started to have a lot of success, was like, I live and breathe this stuff. And I think the people that are successful now are people that, again, it's tough to get into a business that you don't care about now, because having you as a part of that business is really important. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to go that route. Like McDonald's obviously is a different story, but those are corporations, right? I think that, again, we're living in a time where everyone is blessed with the opportunity to really do something that they love to do if they know how to do it, and just if they know how to market themselves. And like, it's funny, I was about to post a status the other day, but like, you know, I'm in the process of hiring some more people, and I don't ask for resumes because I actually just applied to be in BNI. I don't know why, but I applied to be in BNI at local Miami, and they were like, "Can you send us a resume?" I was like, "What the fuck is like a resume for what? Like, you just want me to type like first of all, I don't have a resume, but like you just want to like type what I've done in the past, like just do some like let me send you some links online to like the content I create to my LinkedIn profile. You know what I'm saying? Like a resume is fucking bullshit. You know what I mean? Like anybody can type whatever I would lie on my resume. If I were to go for a job resume, I would lie like crazy on it. Like,
Ryan, how old are you, man?
29.
29 years old. I'm 44. I will tell you that on my resume, there was more bullshit on there than ever. There were things on there. I was moving dates around so there wasn't a gap because I heard that was a bad thing. I don't know what the hell a resume is anymore. And I tell people when they're like, "So what do you do?" I'm like, "Google me." Exactly. I'm not the dead Frank Schwartz, and I'm not the German cardiologist, you know, or gastrointestinal guy. I'm the other one you'll find. And don't be offended, but most of what I find is going to be offensive to you. You shouldn't ever worry about a piece of paper. You with content marketing, when I first ran into you, God, almost a year ago now, you could have been anybody. Mm-hmm. But what you were was this guy with glasses, a beard, you know, sleeved out, and you wrote about content marketing. And then you started, you know, you were telling people about white hat. And you said, "I'm a black hatter," and you had a face and a name. Anybody else, man, it's just an article. It's just somebody giving out information. I don't know you. I don't trust you, you know, and then, you know, getting to know you over the year, and you've seen it. Your Facebook page has exploded because it's you. Yeah. You know, it's not just a group where people are dropping links or talking shit. It's like, oh, well, Ryan said. Yeah. You know, not I read over here, you know, and I don't know who writes for the Huffington Post. You know, I don't know who writes for certain things. I don't look at the byline, but I can say, Ryan said this the other day, and, you know, I went out and looked at it. You know, I read this from so-and-so, and I went and researched it. Yeah. That is so important, and I think local, and when I say local, I'm talking about a company that can make $100 million a year is that small. That owner or CEO is out front. They're connecting with that local market, and local can be anywhere from half of the United States to, you know, like you said, not McDonald's, not Walmart, but, you know, the local landscaper. Yeah. He can outrank everybody by doing some social. And giving hints and tricks and using video and having pictures. And, you know, it's amazing what we're missing because we're trying to go huge.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people just say, like, well, the biggest thing about my content marketing is like, number one, I'm not a good writer. Number two, I'm not enough time. And just to kind of like put it in perspective, like I spend more than half of my time as a business owner creating content. that's the only way. I've never bought an ad. I've never spent $1 on marketing for my brand. And I just create content. And the reason why I started that way, because it's free. You know what I mean? Like, I could go to Huffington Post. I could go to anywhere. I could just offer to write for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's still to this day blow my mind that people are like, why do you write for Moz? I'm like, what did I fucking apply to? Because I sent them an email. You know what I mean? It's like, it's like if you have something to say, and like, honestly too, you can just do a ton of web research and just write it better. You know what I mean? Like, anybody can do it. It's just one of those things where, like, you have to commit the time, and you have to understand that it's a process and it's going to take a lot of time. It's not going to be direct effect, but like, it is the only way in today's world to build a brand. Like, again, it doesn't have to be a blog post, but like, you have to be creating something of value, period, no matter what it is.
What you did, you introduced me. You did a post and you said, look, I'm going to be posting content here, 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 and here. And I had never heard of Medium.
Mm-hmm.
And I will tell you this, it is one of my favorite spots right now.
Yeah, Medium.
Because I can highlight something, I can tweet right from the page, I can drop a comment. I got stats in my email the other day that said one of my comments had 10,000 reach. I'm like,
yeah.
Really? What the hell? I don't even remember what I wrote, but okay, cool. So now I'm more into giving a real response, and a snarky little, my way of responding to somebody's article. But there's another reach. I didn't have to write anything. I just have to read something, and then give something of relevance back. But yeah, your content, it costs time. And no, I don't think you can outsource your personality. You can't hire somebody in your office to do you.
No, and I agree with the insights that as the owner of your business that you should have. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think some of the reason why my content has been so effective is because it's what I write about is like I come on a challenge on a daily basis. And I build a process around how to fix it and how to do it and how to train other people. And then I just write about it. You know what I mean? Like, in that same problem other people have. And it resonates with them, right? So, like, when we do mass content marketing for some good-sized companies now. And it's really hard because it's hard for me to like, I'm not involved in the daily process of, like, tutoring kids, right? I don't understand the challenges. Like, I actually just learned about it because we're recording their phone calls for some call tracking that we're doing. And I was listening to what the mom, they do like specialized ADHD tutoring and really highly personal stuff. And, we were like originally thinking, okay, let's create the ultimate guide to the SATs. But like, that's not what, like, really understanding their target audience. It's women in their 40s to 55, suburban moms that care. The only thing they care about in this world is their children and how to, and like listening, and it sounds cheesy, but like listening to the distress in that woman's voice when she was her child has ADHD and like doing poorly in school, I finally clicked like understanding about the type of content that we should be creating and who we should be talking to and the topics, you know what I'm saying? But like, 'cause you have to really understand your customers' pain points and understanding who your customers too. So many businesses don't know, like they don't even have the ability to like write down on a piece of paper. Like one of the first exercises I do with new clients, I say, tell me about your client. Who is their name?
Yep.
What is their age? What TV shows do they watch? What newspapers do they read? What pages do they like on? All this stuff, right? Because you have to truly understand who you're. And again, this is what I learned this from experience because I stopped to the point where I was like, I shouldn't be creating like content, the top 10 things businesses should do for SEO because I don't want business owners. I want companies that have a marketing team, that have a budget, that understand marketing. So just that, again, that switch that I've had for my brand, I write about it and I take it and I pass it off to my clients. And that's another reason why we've had success is because in one of the pushes to want to work with us is because we don't just have like a website. Like we take marketing our brand incredibly seriously. It's a passion of mine. You know what I mean? And that comes off. So, but
it's a Fabergé egg to you. It's not a dozen eggs.
Yeah, exactly.
It's God, you can't afford for that to get cracked.
Yeah, it speaks to people, and it's one of the reasons why we've had explosive success. But, just even tying it back, I mean, you just look at what Gary Vaynerchuk has done. I mean, the dude built a 8-figure, 9-figure marketing agency. He launched it in 2010. I mean, that's really impressive. He's an unbelievable marketer. Don't get me wrong, but like his personal brand has driven that agency. You know what I mean? Like it's
and that's what he has said over and over again. He is the face. He's just being the loud voice.
Yeah.
You're doing the work.
Yeah.
He has the ideas, he knows how to execute it, but he's got the employees, and that's why he always says he'll take care of his employees forever because they're the ones doing all the work and kicking ass. Quick question coming in from Search Talk Live. Are you guys talking paid stuff? No. Talk Friday with Darren Perky about paid. As Ryan said earlier, he does more building the content and doing that type of stuff. I'm horrible at paid. I've thrown so much fucking money at Facebook ads and sat there and had 5 clicks. I had one click cost me $112, and I have no idea what I did. But Darren's like, dude, no, you did it wrong. You did something wrong.
We get a lot of people. I mean, we do a good amount of advertising on Facebook now for clients. It's tough because I have somebody. I actually met him in one of the groups. He's like my director of all paid traffic now. Unbelievable paid search guy. Really knowledgeable. Knows a lot about analytics too, which was what drove me to him. And we do a good amount of Facebook advertising, and like people come to us all the time. And like number one, because Facebook ads are like really hot right now. Everyone's talking about them, but so few people do. Like Facebook is not a direct conversion channel. Like you can't just be like, oh, I sell protein powder. Let me just advertise. Just like, let me do remarketing because somebody came to my website. They must want to buy protein powder. So let me just it's like, no. Facebook, again, is a native platform. The only way to have success on Facebook is to build audiences within Facebook using native content. So an example, and the best way to do that is with video, right? I mean, it's really hard to create good video, and it's expensive. And it's, again, this is where being a marketer comes in handy because I can just, throw my camera and lights up.
I was going to say, camera's over there. That's always something.
One of the best investments I've made, honestly, because it gives you the ability to be agile. The only reason I bought that camera and learned about video was because I tried to hire a contractor, and he was like, yeah, it'll be $5,000. I'm like, go fuck yourself. To shoot a 2-minute video, like $5,000. I was like, you got to be kidding me. So I went out and I bought a nice Nikon for $300, some lights on Amazon for $100, and now I'm good. And I bought a 50mm lens, and like I take professional quality videos now, and it's incredible.
I have the GoPro, and I've got my Samsung.
That's all you use?
That's what I bang it out with. When I went for the phone, they're like, okay, so do you need contacts and this and that and all that? I'm like, I need the best camera, I need video, and I need it to be an Android so I can get the apps to automatically upload. Yeah. I'm going to be talking next week, going to a Phoenix startup where they're doing some really cool auto editing. Nice. For phones and tablets. And I don't know if I can say their name yet because they're talking with VCs, but it's some amazing technology. And it was their frustration on this whole process. And that's where we go at. You're frustrated. I'm not going to spend $5,000 to put out a video that's just content that's going to be consumed and burned. Yeah, I'm not doing a theatrical release of $100 million film. I don't need all of that. But to have somebody come in, from the college. You're down in Florida. You could probably get students from Full Sail University. Yeah. You're still going to pay an arm and a leg. Yeah, for one thing. Yeah, that's incredible.
That's a great business idea. I mean, I actually saw one. The thing is that it's not just about applying it to marketers who want to create video because everyone's creating video now. Right. You know what I'm saying? So like the commercial applicability to like marketing tools, which we would view them as like the ability to have an app on your phone that, iMovie does it now I have an iPhone, but like the ability to edit video professionally, like I see people doing like really nice videos on their phones.
I know my fingers are too damn. I'm like,
crazy.
Shit.
It's crazy. So like, and I was thinking that the other day because actually Gary Vee posted, he was like, screenshot this and follow me on Snapchat. I was like, dude, you own a $500 million marketing company. Like, why don't you invest in like building a tool that'll be like a clickable link from your Instagram that just deep links into Snapchat to follow me? Because, and it's funny because all these people were posting, they were like, it's not working, it's not working, it's not working. And I wanted to post and be like, bro, you've got the resources, build a tool. You know what I mean? And taking that, and again, having him do that, but I mean, the applicability is not just for marketers, right? You're taking a problem that everybody has now, because technically we're all, again, personal marketers of ourselves. Having these tools to improve our social presence is a huge. It's gonna, I swear, it's gonna be like the next frontier. Like Hootsuite is great and stuff, but I was sitting there and I was thinking, like, why aren't they marketing this, the scheduling of Instagram stuff to everybody? You know what I'm saying? It's great for marketers, but the applicability to, if you just charge someone $10 a month, I know people, just like random chicks, that would pay that to schedule from their desktop to their phone without having to go through that process. It's a huge time saving thing.
It's all about, like, when I'm part of the Gary Vee book launch, the Ask Gary Vee book.
Sure.
So I literally was trying to hack out. I don't have time to sit there and tweet out a message every minute. So that's how I found out that Hootsuite would allow me to build out these messages. Yeah. So literally, if you go to my Twitter account for the next, from today until March 8th, every day there's going to be multiple Gary Vee quotes that are going to be tweeted.
Damn. Is he paying you for that or what?
Nope. Just I'm just a huge fan. Yeah. And I found a little banner that I did for us today is a new beta software, and it's called designfeed.io. And they're doing all this automated design. Type in the title, your subtitle, your button, and boom, now you got an Instagram picture, a Pinterest picture, and everything else, and it just randomly picks like photos.
It's like, have you been on Canvas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is it's just like the Canvas, except right now for beta, they're not charging anybody. Yeah. And I got a hold of them, and the guy's like, look, one of their features is going to be, what he did was he typed in @SEO Show, and it pulled all of our tweets and made a picture. And he's like, what do you think? And I'm like, oh my God, I could repurpose all my tweets again and make them more relevant because now it's a picture. I'm like, damn it, you guys.
It's crazy what I mean. And that's, again, where things are going. Like, tools are going to give us the ability to, it's almost going to be scary because digital jobs are pushing out so many other jobs, but even digital jobs are going to be shrunk down, like designing, right? I mean, like, the ability for anyone nowadays to just use Canvas to design social stuff, like you can have a VA do that. It's almost kind of scary if you think about it. You know what I mean? That this digital industry was shot up overnight, then is being squished down because, like tools like Unbounce, again, like you don't need a landing page designer anymore. You don't have to pay all that money. So it's like, that's why, it's an incredible time to start a business because you have all the tools, if you just know where they are, to do everything.
You're right. And what's Canva cost?
It's $10 a month. It's cheap.
Okay. Well, my Photoshop licensing is $30 a month. Yeah, I get the other Adobe things, but I don't use them. Yeah, I don't use Dreamweaver. I've got a plug and play over here. I don't use any of this stuff. I've got these themes. And it's just like they hit me with that $30, and I almost fell out of my chair. I'm like, dude, I was paying you $7, and I was happy with that. Yeah. Now I'm pissed. Let's see. We got a question for you, buddy, or just a question. Let me pull it up. Erin, she says, when creating podcast and video content, how do we know the right information to give out and what to hold back and sell in your product if our business model is based on information product? I have an answer, but I want you to hit it because I'm sure it's going to be the exact same thing.
Sorry, I'm reading this again. So when creating podcast and video content, how do we know the right information to give out? Oh, Okay. Yeah, that's a really good question, actually.
And how do you know you're not going to give out the money?
So I give out everything, right? I mean, that's just who I am. I give out everything. I actually have a link building course. I haven't promoted it to anybody. And here's a good example, right? So I have a link building course. It's expensive as shit. I'm not going to lie. It's about $1,000, but it's, I mean, you know, I'm not trying to plug my own product here, but like it's an agency in a box. It's a link building. It's a process, right? You know, so basically, I use free snippets of it to promote it, right? So basically, I just wrote a post about like link roundups, which is a specific type, and I literally just pretty much took the videos and put it into a blog post and uploaded those videos for free. So, I mean, I'm just a firm believer that there's nothing is secret anymore. Like everybody knows, it's specifically about like info products. Like you're not, unless you're creating a new industry, which I'm sure you're not. No offense. You're just presenting an information in a new way, right? I mean, I think that just finishing my example. So, I mean, I haven't promoted my link building course once. I haven't even announced it to my 100 person digital marketing group. I've never posted. I've never been like, hey guys, buy this. But I've sold over 30 of them in a month and a half from just people, you know, like, again, just like that over providing value to people that they'll buy. So it's tough. I mean, but I've also kind of like built an audience over the last year. So if you don't have an existing audience, I think personally what you should do, if I were you, if you have no audience, you have no list, you have no people, no personal brand awareness, I would build the course and then I would give the whole thing away for free. The whole thing away for free. And
now here's my thing. I disagree with giving it away for free.
So
if you have it packaged, and I mean, give it away for $1,
sure,
but make somebody buy something for so little that at least you get past that buyer's thing. I went to a website and I grabbed their course and I paid $7 for it. And in the course, they say all the information in this course was freely available on our website. You paid for us to pull it together.
Huh.
So that's what with the free info, you're absolutely right. Give it all away. But if you package it, charge them.
Yeah.
That's just me.
So yeah.
You can do that Facebook thing like you did.
Yeah. So I mean, that's a tripwire, right? I mean, that's a classic Ryan Dice tactic right there.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
exactly.
Really smart. But like I said, I mean, it depends on what stage you're at, right? If you have no audience, if nobody know, if you post in a group and people are like, who is, you know what I'm saying? Like, which was me, honestly, like, maybe not this time, about this time last year, a little bit more. I mean, like October of 2004. So about a year and a couple months ago, I was getting like booed out of fucking Facebook groups. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, I remember when you were getting tossed out of groups and it was like, I was loving it because you're going, what'd I do?
So I think I didn't have the vision that I do now. I didn't really have a plan to build I never wanted to sell an info product, right? I just did it because the information that was in this course was just, so basically the course that I'm selling, it's the internal training that I use for my team. You know what I'm saying? It's literally like, take this, give this to your team. This is what I use to train my team so I don't have to do anything anymore. But like, if you don't have an audience, I think if you should build something of incredible value and give it away for free just to build the audience and build that the first, even before you hit them with a tripwire product. I think my biggest issue with info product marketers is that first of all they do is sell. It's such bullshit in my opinion. Info product marketers, they sell they're not selling you anything except for they're selling you how to sell an info product, right? It's almost kind of ironic if you think about it. You know what I'm saying? They're selling, oh, this is how I'm selling you this. It's kind of weird if you think about it, right? So I wouldn't listen to anything that those people say because all it is, it's like, oh, set up a Facebook funnel, set up an awesome, here's my email trail template. But even that, it doesn't work like it used to. You know what I'm saying? Because the personal brand is so important and people are so intelligent now, so informed. So I think that it's incredibly important before you even hit the old school, a couple years ago, but the old school internet marketer, right? Build a list. Before you even get to that point, you should give away so much content that people like you said, they recognize who you are. Because then I'm telling you, like, and again, not to sound like cocky, but like, I'm at the point now where I can sell stuff without selling it. You know what I mean? Which is, it's amazing, right? It's true inbound marketing where every single client that I have, they come to me and they ask, they come to Weber's and they ask to work with me by name, right? They're not going out saying, hey, we're looking for SEO agencies. They're saying, hey, we found this, we want to work with you. Period. That's it. No questions asked, right? Don't even send us a proposal. It's how much is this going to cost to do this? So,
and that's the thing that you've done. Now, Erin says she's got a huge amount of followers on Google Plus and Twitter and all of that. I would drive them to one location with all your information. I mean, if you've got this big group, I always work in 10. So if you've got 110,000, G plus, that's 11,000 buyers. Yeah. In just a ballparking, but I mean, that's it building the content, and then people ask, why are you doing the SEO show? What are you selling? And I go, I sell things and I work with clients, but it has nothing to do with the SEO show per se. Now, if I work out a deal with HostGator and it's 10% off, of course I'm making some money out of it, but I'm also trying to give you value of 10% off. I'm trying to wing ding my own freebie out of it.
When people ask me, I enjoy doing it. You know what I'm saying? I get nothing out of here. I don't even want to plug my stuff. I don't want you to hire my agency. I don't want you to hire me. I just want to come out and talk shit. I love what I do.
That was the best part is you're like, so when am I coming back on? And I'm like, dude, I took like a few months off because I was just, like you said, the client stuff, man. I'm banging my head against the client wall. And I was just like, I need a break. I can't, I'm going in 50 directions.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy shit.
I've been on I go through phase, like I just go through growth and learning phase just like everybody, right? And a couple months ago, I realized that like I really need to hire good people. I hired somebody who I had to end up firing me. It was a terrible situation. I just hired the wrong person, learning lesson, and it was a nightmare. But now that I've hired 2 new people, actually the kid that I want to groom to become like the general manager of Weber so I can focus on other stuff. He actually, and this is the type of people that I hire. So he came to me about 7 months ago. He just was hitting me on Facebook and emailing me being like, hey, he's in Miami. So he's like, I want to intern. I want to apprentice. Do you have any room for me to just come in and learn? And at that time I was like, man, no, get out of here. I'm too busy. You know what I mean? But then when I hired this girl, I was like, man, I had this girl working for me and she was doing like content marketing, a lot of creative stuff, like creating videos and stuff. But like, she just didn't want to be there. And like, I get that. It's one of those things like, I can't make you love my brand and I don't want to, but like, I just want somebody who wants to be there and like I love that what I do so much that I want somebody to just want to learn, to want to ask questions. So I told this kid to come in and like, it was clear as day for like, now I know how to hire people. When I had them sitting in the same room and like this kid was driving an hour every day against traffic. And he's 37 years old, mind you. He was working as an insurance consultant. He hated it. And he joined LCT and he was learning stuff on his own. And like, this motherfucker is a grinder. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to be there every day for free. You know what I mean? So I was like, look, lady, like, I got to let you go. I'm sorry. And now this kid, that's all that what I look for in people, again, it's a passion that you just can't teach people. You know what I mean? Like, you can hire somebody that has all the knowledge in the world about one subject, but if they're not hungry to learn more, and if they're not like constantly, because this game changes so much, man. I mean, like, SEO changes every day. If you're not constantly like on your Twitter feed, just like reading articles and like reading new stuff, being like, hey, we should test this. How can we fit this into the existing process? Like, you're never going to be successful. You know what I mean? So, and I realized the only way for us to grow is for me to have people underneath that can sustain that passion and push us further. So,
well, I think one of the coolest things was when you and I seemed to, without talking to each other, come to the same conclusion about White Hat at almost the same time, publicly. Yeah. And I'm just like, I spend my entire damn day trying to figure out how to stay ahead of them when they literally just have this big book that says, just do this.
Yeah.
and we will love you forever. And it's not as pretty and it takes longer, but I mean, damn, they want content. Get Dragon Naturally Speaking and start talking, and then find somebody to edit it, and you'd be done. I'm going to bring on Hugh and let Hugh say hi to you.
Yeah, please.
Hey there, how's it going?
Hey man, what's going on?
Oh, good. I figured I'd call in. We have a digital marketing agency. We're out in Los Angeles.
Oh, nice.
And I could totally relate to what you were saying about finding good people. It's
you know, something that's funny. It's kind of what we were talking about earlier, but like, it's a skill set that hiring people. There's a reason why recruiters exist. It's really, really, really hard. And when you're an expert in something and you're a consultant and you're killing it, you realize that it's very hard to scale an agency. Really, really hard to scale an agency. The only way that you can do it is by putting the right people in place. But like, it's hard to hire people, man. Like, it's really, really hard because, again, with the resume, like, people tell you something, you have no fucking truth or not. Like,
there's probably 20 different levels of SEO. Everything from they think they're an expert because they have their own personal Facebook account, but then when you ask them, well, how do you measure? Do you measure that through like the KPIs through like Google Analytics, or are you working on multiple accounts at the same time? Do you understand like how to engage with, give me a case study on something that you've done in the last 5 years where you've taken something from point A to point B. Oh, I don't have any case studies. Well, that kind of identifies that they're not really committed in their industry. They just happen to get lucky because they know more than an owner of a company that doesn't know anything about Facebook. So most of the time, like I'm sure, you deal with as well when you're working with clients, is you're competing with these internal people that they might not know anything about SEO or internet marketing, but because they've been on the Facebook and they know how to post where the owner doesn't, they're now considered like an expert.
Yeah, and they're the social media manager.
Right. And like it's so funny because we deal with that all the time. I mean, we work with some companies that are, they're like $600 to $900 million companies where we've literally got to get their internal team on our side, even though the internal team has no idea what they're doing. And they don't even want to do it because they treat it like a job, like that girl that worked for you. You can tell when people want to be there, when they're excited, when they're passionate. I'm a big believer in like self-educating yourself. I'm a big fan of like Gary Vee, and I started with the internet when I was in Australia.
Oh no. Did I freeze? No.
No, it's you. This is cool. I've never actually been on Blab. This is pretty cool. I'm actually just noticing.
And I was working with a marketing company.
People are tweeting about this and shit, huh?
Yeah, they're high-fiving and they tweet and they can post on Facebook. And here's, that I've been a Google Hangout guy since literally before it went public, and I was loving it, but it's been shaky. Mm-hmm. It's hard to get people in. It's hard to, do chat. It's hard to do. When we're done with this, it's literally going to, you can bring people in and kick them out. You can do all that stuff, but I'll be done and it'll say upload to YouTube.
Yeah.
So our whole thing is going to be uploaded to YouTube, and it's done. It's just done right there. You can bring people in. They can ask questions live. Yeah. I haven't used it that much, but what I'm finding is the reach to Twitter is why I wanted it.
Yeah. No, this is my issue with Hangouts too, is they're really hard to use.
Yeah, it was the barrier.
I have never gotten on a Hangout without like some sort of 10-minute delay in the front, like, oh, my shit's not working. This is very smooth, and the social integration, like you said, is awesome.
You can get the Blab guys to come in by typing in, I guess it's like /help, and somebody from Blab will come into your thing and fix the problem.
This is got to be
it's crazy. It's really some. I love the map. And hey, Hugh, you're back, buddy.
Oh yeah. Hey, sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
Yeah. So it's what I'm saying is like, I always call it like Alice in Wonderland. You go down the rabbit hole, like even I'm sure when you guys work with clients, they think they know what internet marketing is, and you ask them questions and they're just totally lost and they don't really hear what you're saying. So you have to Dr. Seuss it, make it super simple and try to put it in their language. But it's just been like remarkable, like some of the businesses that I've worked with where they're doing $600, $800, $900 million a year. And you're having a conversation with them where they don't even understand what you're saying. And you're like, gosh, someone just happened to fall into like kind of stupid money. They did one thing really good. They hit a niche and then like they think the internet's never going to impact them. And then all of a sudden they're losing business because of the internet. So eventually they come around. It's always like, well, I know we have to get this internet thing going because, everyone's Googling us. And so that's what happens.
Well, I tried to tell everybody a couple of years ago with video marketing when I was teaching a lot with the video marketing. And I said, guys, you can see the companies who get it. And you want to see it really big. Look what happens 2 minutes after the Super Bowl ends.
Yep.
Every commercial is the Super Bowl ads being played in front of every video because they know that they're going to watch the replays, the interviews, the whatevers, and they've got you right there. And yeah, it might not be the best way to use video in internet marketing or marketing online, but they know the power of that video. And now $5 million for 30 seconds can be spread out. $5 million can be 15 years, worth of a payment and a return on investment. I always tell people.
What's a funny example too? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. No, you finish up.
I was as you were saying about the internet and the Super Bowl ads. The other night, I don't know if you guys like comedy, but one of the good examples online is like Jimmy Fallon. Mm-hmm. Jimmy Fallon, he's basically capitalized on creating content, and he's got celebrities that are working for. The celebrities literally work on a show, doing these skits, and he's got these little segments. And if you look at all of his social channels, he's totally tapping into the network of content because these videos have like 4 or 5 million views a piece. But it's not just that it's a Jimmy Fallon show. He's got like Jimmy Fallon and Will Smith, and Jimmy Fallon and Jennifer Lawrence, and Jimmy Fallon and it could be anybody out there. But he's tied in, like that's what's make his show like so huge. Where like before late night comedy shows were just one person that would interview somebody and they didn't really get it. And I think he's really like maximizing his platform.
Nobody watches.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I actually saw some data that was talking about how nobody watches anything live anymore, and pretty much putting it, what I'm saying, like you're able to increase your reach times like 100, maybe more, by just uploading those segments to Facebook alone, right? He's killing it on Facebook from those 2-minute clips, and that's how I engage with him. Like I'm not up past 12 o'clock. I'm not going to watch a show, but it's just it's an incredible.
Yeah, that's what I do. I watch YouTube clips and say, "Oh, I'm going to go watch some Jimmy Fallon now."
One thing that Fallon has done is Fallon has become the Happy Meal of late night talk.
Yep.
He's hitting the younger group, getting them used to his brand, and they're going to stick with him until he retires.
Right.
And everybody else can try to do it now, but they're not first.
Right.
And he makes it exciting, and they're real short clips. No matter what, nobody else can get that point across in such a small time frame and make it fun and get out. He's not interfering with our life. He's interweaving. And that's what is so important for anybody, with anything.
Right.
Listen, guys, I love it. Ryan, I know, dude, that we can go hours and hours and hours with this. It's been an hour and a half now, man. Hugh, thanks for coming in, man. Tell everybody about the SEO Show. Jump over to Ryan's Facebook page and make sure that you're in there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's got some cool cats in there, and it's not just what Ryan's doing to sell something. And now Darren Perky just joined.
What you said, Ryan, about giving value. That's a big thing that Gary Vee says. It's also like the science of getting rich. It's about being passionate about something and always giving value, because like you said, people call you up, they want to work with you because of the value that you give people. And I think you're right. You know, the educational information type people, they're always selling some deal, but maybe they should sell with value first and give it away before they start charging out of prime money. So have a good one. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Everybody's got to know, like, and trust you. And if they don't, then, you know, you're not going to last very long. Ryan, look, man, thank you very much. A lot of people want to know about what your plan is with Amazon. I'm going to tell everyone, what's the Facebook page?
For the brand?
Yeah, for where everybody can go.
For the shoelaces stuff.
Sure.
Okay, so the shoelaces.
I would go to yours. You're always dropping stuff in there about the shoelaces.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I don't think you really care about the shoelaces stuff. I mean, everything is tied to the page is called My Facebook page is called Weber's Ryan Stewart, but then the Facebook group is called Digital Marketing Questions, and it really is a really good group. A lot of smart people in there now. Yeah, a lot of smart people in there. So
I'm going to tell you this, man. I love it. I appreciate it. It's always a lot of fun, and you've always been very open to helping me out. And, you know, you're a straight shooter, and I really appreciate you taking your time. It's late where you are, and you got a lot to do in Florida, man.
I know. It's actually a little bit cold outside. It was like 61 today. So
you guys were 80 degrees 2 weeks ago. I'm standing in 30 degrees in Arizona. Today it's 83 and you guys are 60s.
It's been the El Nino wintertime. It's been a very weird, like, it's crazy because last week it was like 85. I was riding my bike and I was like, fuck, it's hot out. And then I woke up yesterday and I was wearing a t-shirt and shorts, assuming, and it was in the 50s. It was crazy. I mean, I love this weather personally. I'm from Boston, so this is.
Oh yeah, that's hot for you.
Yeah.
Oh man, well, we're gonna have to get together and argue about hockey and stuff when the season's starting up, because I know you're probably a Bruins fan.
Yeah, I am.
Oh God, man, I'm a Red Winger. I'm a Detroit boy, so we'll do all that. I want to say thank you, man. Get out of here. Go do your stuff. I'll drop links after I find out how mad the wife is that she had to go shopping on her own.
All right, man.
All right, man. Thank you. You guys come back. Make sure you subscribe. Tweet it out. I appreciate everybody.
All right. Bye, Frank.
Later.